Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Angelic Buster has been remastered, so let's go check out exactly what happened to Maplestory's own pop star in the Maplestory Korea test client. The Angelic Buster remaster will release in our regions after the New Age update, and I predict it will release around April or May next year, but hey, hopefully sooner. Angelic Buster, her remaster, is criminally good. It's so good that she has been put in jail. I actually have two Angelic Busters and both are doing time at the moment. The Angelic Buster remaster changes all her skill animations to a softer pink with an updated look, and the recharge system has been removed and the class now has MP just like everyone else, or well, most classes. This does make it slightly harder to get that Roar 4 and other rings as there are more boxes in the pool now. Let's go over all the skill changes in order. She now has a new beginner skill where every 10 minutes she can give a concert. Heck yeah, okay, that's actually pretty funny though. And her link skill has been changed. At level 2, the cooldown of the skill was lowered from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. That's a huge buff for every single class in the game. Let's hope this does not get nerfed before it leaves the test client. Also, Angelic Buster will no longer transform when using double jump or rope lift. For first job, Star Bubble was changed, now dealing more lines of damage but with a weaker damage percentage. Overall, it's a huge improvement though. Melody Cross now also adds MP, since you have that now, and for all her Infinity Heart skills, any effect related to the old recharging mechanic has been yeeted from the game. Lovely Sting was changed for second job, now dealing multiple lines of damage in exchange for weaker damage numbers. No more detonation effect either. The same thing happened to Pink Pummel, which now deals more lines of weaker damage. Also, almost every skill has had some form of action delay reduction, which makes all skills feel really smooth and really nice to grind with. Angelic Buster, her power transfer buff has been changed to a passive that reduces damage taken up to 50%. Her beautiful soul skill now increases final damage by 5%. Affinity Heart 2 now increases damage by 10% and critical rate by 21%. Besides the usual effects that it already had, this is a really nice win so far for the class. There also are a lot of changes for third job. The hammer skill, it's gone. And Shining Starburst has been reworked, dealing 5 lines of damage and no more additional damage for airborne monsters since the hammer is gone. No more big damage lines for this class. Her Iron Blossom skill now increases final damage by a huge 14% at max level. Dragon Whistle, now at max level, also increases final damage by 6% and ignore enemy defense by 16%. Love Me Hard also increases MP now by a whooping 1k. Affinity 3 now also increases final damage, but the max damage increase was decreased from 20% to 10%. And she now has a new skill called Attention that increases critical rate by 10% and critical damage by 15%. As you might have noticed, a lot of passives now give IED, final damage, critical rate, critical damage, you name it. This is mostly due to some of the passive effects and buff effects and whatever of her 4th job skills have been moved to her 3rd job skills. For example, the 4th job skill Trinity used to increase final damage by 25% and IED by 15% at max level. These buffs have now been shifted to previous job passive skills, which is nice and it means more power early on. Celestial Roar has a new animation and a 9% bigger hitbox. It feels like it's mostly a longer hitbox though and not a taller one. Her final ribbon skill looks really nice now, and also for this skill the final damage buff has been removed, but like I mentioned, it's mostly shifted to the earlier passive skills. Sadly, I was too OP and jailed for my crimes. And in jail you cannot open any UI windows, so I cannot check the description. The patch notes for Soul Resonance mention that a continuous invincibility effect is added, but when I look back at the footage, I'm taking damage there, so I'm not sure what that one is all about. Stargazer is your first active buff. All your previous active buffs have been removed. It now increases your critical damage only by 20%, but hey, you get those previous passive buffs, so it doesn't really matter. Soul Shooter Expert now also increases final damage a little bit. And for Affinity 4, the skill now gives a 25% damage increase for 30 seconds whenever you use any attacking skills except for Soul Seeker and the 6th job origin skill Balloons. For her Hyper skills, Final Contract now also increases damage by 10%, IED by 30% and boss damage by 20% besides the existing effects. Pre-exhalation got changed around quite a bit. The skill now only lasts for 20 seconds instead of 30, but the cooldown was reduced from 120 seconds to 60 seconds. When you use this skill, there still is a 15% chance to trigger Soul Seekers, but the creation probability gets increased by 5% and the amount created by 2. And the final damage of Soul Seeker gets reduced by 45%. Basically, you'll create a ton more Soul Seekers, but they will do a little bit less damage. Also, these are probably the most important and nice changes. Her face job skills got huge improvements. For the Superstar Spotlight skill you get a buff, and this buff increases depending on how many spotlights hit you. This effect has been changed, and now when you use that skill you will always get the full buff. That is so nice. The spotlight damage was doubled from 800% to 1600% at max level, but now the second spotlight does hit reduced final damage, which I guess is fair. Sparkle Burst now has an instant pop skill, no need to charge it anymore, just an instant explosion of damage. Please imagine I'm using the skill and not in jail. And this is the best change of all of them. Mighty Mascot no longer has to be charged. Instead it just fires a huge beam of light for about 2 seconds, dealing a lot of damage. And you can move around and jump around with the attack, which is so much better. Overall, I'm quite impressed with the Angelic Buster remaster. Nexel managed to fix most of her clunkiness while not changing the class around too much. And the new art and skill colors are really nice. My only complaint is that I don't like skills that have bigger animations than their hitbox. Which I guess is only an issue for their third job skill that you won't use very long anyway. But I see the animation hitting the monsters, but no damage is popping up, which is so annoying. But hey, if that's it, then I think overall it's a pretty nice remaster. It doesn't make her giga busted or anything like that, but it makes her a lot smoother to play. The removal of the charge system is great, and the lower cooldown on the Link skill is a huge buff for every other class in the game as well. In KMS, Link skills only go to level 2, so I wonder if this will have any change for us when the remaster gets released in our region, because in Maple Global, Link skills go up to level 3. But overall, hey, the devs managed to fix the issues that I think were responsible for turning people away from this class. So it's really good stuff. And now we can start speculating again which class will be remastered next. Phantom, Kaiser, Wild Hunter, time will tell. But that's all I had for today. What do you think of the Angelic Buster remaster yourself? Let me know in the comments. Please also someone bust me out of jail. And special thanks to our members for making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian Hanoy, Jesus Rodriguez, Kaudimora, Wiley, Riser Are BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy Historycanon, Saffronyx, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Surtito655, Michael Menchaca, Rathius, Afterlord, Betrayal 1489, Silvio Nato, Striker Elk, Tidal1 Fun, Victor Sundstrom, Mathias Simonsson, Mr. Anark, Benon Games, The Passenger, Kani Wu, Max Bernhardt, Mukau 1017, BNB King, Scotty Flies Fast, Gabriel Eck, Fecko, Vake Botnet, Dante Victory, Mathinu Def, Snack, HBG, Only, Lord Facile, Spatsny Kaiser, That Archer Guy, Louis Bento Brandau, Snuffle Pop, Tails Curspet, The Wolf Drake, Gaber Wolf, Live Love Maplestory, Kali, Duckfoos, Quinn, Migu, Sir Otter, Nix, and Guilherme Paiva. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!